Yo, what is up, my Patreon members? Again, I appreciate you guys for sticking around, man. It's been a journey. Kevin just reminded me that we started Unlock Your Style online classes June.
The meeting was June 9th.
June 9th, we started forming everything together. So I appreciate you guys who stuck around and take all my classes and talk with me and stuff like that. So now we're at phase 2, concepts. You know, that's my favorite phase to go through, and that is, it's just my favorite. It's my name, you know what I'm saying? So on the YouTube that I posted, it was the 4 T's, 2.1, 4 T's. Traces, triggers, transfers, threads.
I'll say it backwards.
Threads, triggers, transfers, traces. All right, so I'm gonna go more in depth for you guys because you know you guys we're members here. We're official members, we're premium members. That's what we are. I'm gonna go into depth. So traces, all right. So come on here, let's learn a little bit. I'm gonna teach you guys. So what I like to do for traces is, I almost did threads. What I like to do for traces, like I said in the video, is change up my writing pen, right? But I like to connect them. So if I have a paintbrush trace and I'm paintbrushing my trace and I get to my shoulder, say I grab that pen, I swap out the writing device, and now it's a typewriter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, paintbrush, hoop, swap it out, typewriter. So I change up my writing tool mid-round. Of course, while you're dancing, nobody's gonna be like, oh shit, his paintbrush turned into a fucking typewriter. But it's the contrast that gives you that, whoa, what the hell is he doing? Because I got a paintbrush. Boom, do, 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 do. Boom, boom. Yeah. Another thing with traces I like to do is I like to isolate my fingers and trace different parts of my body. So if this is assigned to my head, that's my head. If my pinky's assigned to my right foot, that's my right foot. So if I go head, right foot, and my middle finger is my left knee, back to my head, right foot, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? So now you can assign all sorts of different stuff. I'm like head, arm, knee, leg, head, arm, knee, boom, boom, boom. Right? So like imagine if you're going crazy, go, 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 and your contrast stops. Boom, 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 boom. Your traces switch up. Yeah, so I like to change my writing tool or my tracing tool, and I like to isolate fingers with my traces or assign points to be traced. You know what I'm saying? Nobody thinks of that. Yep, you could do different points. Also, another thing with traces that I like to do is delayed traces. So if I'm like, boom, boom, I delay the shit out of it. Yeah, so delayed traces, I would like to trace them out, show them the path, kind of like a samurai. Shing, boom. You know, when they cross paths and they're like on the other side of each other, like one falls, you know what I'm saying? Goo. So delay, shoo, boom. Yeah? So these are all traces, different types of traces that you could work with, all right? And this is my secrets right here, all right? So last one, what I like to do with traces is make shapes out of them. So if I'm like trace, 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 I'm like shoo, shoo, shoo. You know what I'm saying? So you make different shapes and different things with the trace first, transfer it over, follow up with the shape, cool? All right, so for triggers, what I like to do is to figure out different scenarios, okay? So for example, say this lever right here is a detonator connected to a bomb. So what if I go, boom, I look at the bomb real quick, step, boom, and it hits me. You know what I'm saying? Or even if I have a grenade, boom, boom, and it activates that. You know what I'm saying? So the best things for triggers is to really come up with scenarios and have imagination, okay? So even if you have a literal trigger like a gun, boom, 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 coo, 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 ka, 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 ka. You know what I'm saying? It all use that for triggers. So for triggers specifically, I don't have anything like specific I could tell you. I just want to say use your imagination. You watch cartoons, you watch anime, you watch movies, TVs. Think about it. There's a lot of influence you can take from that, right? You can take a lot of triggers from that. So triggers, yeah, take that influence from everyone else. Whether it be a scenario with a bomb, boom, grenade, boom. Whether it be pushing a button, do. Makes your head go up, you know what I'm saying? Play with it. Now transfers, okay? Boomerang transfers, around the world transfers, I could throw it, boom, the energy. The only way to make it believable is if your focus point is showing everyone around what you're throwing. So if I'm here, boom, and I go, boom, boom, that's the only way to make it believable. Unless you do a blind one where you're like, boom, boom, and it hits you. You know what I'm saying? But it's all in the character work that helps you make that transfer believable, right? Maybe I'll do a rubber bouncy ball. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? It's all in that imagination and belief with the character work. So transfers, you have your boomerangs. Boom. Maybe your blind ones. Boom. Bouncy balls. Boom. Maybe your delayed ones where you could be like, boom. Move locations because it changed. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Delay it. Yeah. Usually when like the beat drops and you want to hit that one, you know what I'm saying? You could do that. You could transfer, do that boomerang. Other things for transfers is you could transfer textures, right? So if I'm like blabbering on this side, bing, 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 and I'm like smooth here, I could be like, whoo, 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 chop, 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 chop. You know what I'm saying? You could transfer that texture. Like if I'm smooth and I'm like, coo, 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 do, 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 do. I just transfer that texture energy into that move. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you can do with transfers. And the last one is threads. For threads, I like to, it's funny with the 4 T's, I like to transfer my threads. So if my thread is here, I like to transfer them over. Now I have a different one. If I'm here, boom, I like to transfer, boom, boom, you know what I mean? If I'm here, maybe I could be like transfer, boom, transfer back, boom, boom. Oh, put the hole over here, boom. You know what I'm saying? I like to transfer my threads a lot. I like to have continuous ones where it's like back to back. Maybe add a trace to it, to a thread. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different ways. But the point is why I made the 4 T's phase 2.1 all in one is because you can mix and match them to start your concept. And when you start your concept, it's your base to build a whole character concept. You know what I'm saying? So again, traces, triggers, transfers, threads. We got traces, triggers, transfers, boom, and threads. Cool? So now we're gonna session real quick, doing all 4 T's. Check that out. Again, I thank you Patreon members for freaking subscribing and joining the Patreon and talk in the Discord if you have any questions. Yes, the Discord's still up. I need you guys to get active in it. Let's talk more. Let's discuss everything that we're learning. So 2.1, let's get it.